Hey, Davante, how you doing, man?
Doing great. How you doing?
Doing great, man. Happy belated Father's Day. How was your weekend?
It was fantastic, man. I appreciate that. I actually just got back from South America yesterday.
Nice. How long were you away for?
Since last Monday, so it was about what can't count. It's weird when you leave and go that when that's the travel distance you go like that because you travel for like 15 hours, so it's hard to even remember what day. But I left on
Yeah.
Monday night, and I got
Mhm.
back yesterday in the afternoon.
Fantastic. Well, that sounds like a fun time, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. But yeah, obviously today we're talking about the Building Better Lives program. Just want to right off the bat ask you about that. What's been your involvement with that? How'd you get involved with it, and what kind of motivated you to be a part of it?
Yeah, well, I mean, um, the Optimum Nutrition collaboration that we've been doing is it's been a great thing, man. It's been something that I wish was around when I was a kid. But it's the Building Better Lives program is about promoting access to fitness for everyone, and obviously, me being from a city like East Palo Alto, a community in need,
Mhm.
having those resources as a child or even a little bit older heading into college would be something that would have been huge and played a big role in potential offers for college and just different exposure that I didn't have being where I'm from. So it's the same. Justin Jefferson and I, we're both doing this fitness challenge, trying to win fitness equipment for Optimum Nutrition for our hometowns by encouraging people to work out. So it's something that we've always been. Both of us have we have similar backgrounds. I'm kind of a West Coast style, and he has kind of the Southern, kind of style to that. But it's something that we both talked about individually, where we were like, man, it's something that would have been huge when we were coming up, just to be able to have that. I think he was a little bit higher recruited than I was. I didn't
Mhm.
play football until my junior year in high school, but both being from not the greatest backgrounds and didn't have a whole lot of money and resources. This whole collaboration has been something that's been great, and I think about the kids in my hometown now who are still getting some good exposure, but don't have that that access to the resources like what we are seeing nowadays. So it's been a big thing, and I think that it kind of embodies who we are as people too. So it's been a really good deal so far.
Yeah, no, most definitely, man. You talked about it right. You talked about it right there. That easy access to fitness and all that other stuff, just being so important for all different types of communities and populations and stuff like that, which is fantastic. Which is what this is all about. You talked about Justin right there. What's been your experience working with Justin so far? Obviously, being rivals on the football field, working along the same line of this program. What's been your experience like with Justin?
Nah, we're not rivals on the football field. I'm rivals with the DBs on the Vikings. All the wideouts, those are my friends, man. We like, I got real close with Stephon Diggs when he was there. Adam Thielen, that's another one of my friends, man. So meeting Justin's been great. He's a hell of a wideout, and we have similar mindsets. He's much younger than what I am, but similar mindsets on helping people, and obviously our craft is the same way. So I see him taking a big jump going into this next year. Not that he didn't have a phenomenal year this past year, but I see him taking another jump, especially just the mindset with stuff like this. It's a small thing, and kind of have an indirect correlation, but when you have a certain type of focus just in life, I feel like it can do a lot for you on the field as well. So for him to be young and doing something like this is it's huge, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of his career unfolds.
Yeah, no, most definitely, man. You talked about it right there, how great of a year Justin is coming off of you as well. I mean, I talked to a few people before we're talking right now that I was going to be talking to you today, and they were like, oh man, he's coming off such a great season. They were pumped for me to be talking to you today because you're such big fans of yours. Kind of going off that, how do you plan in just a general sense to be keeping your momentum going, coming off such a great season that you had just last year, being in that MVP conversation? How do you plan to keep that momentum going forward?
Just continue to take my training serious. I expect a lot of things of myself each year. I set new goals, new personal goals. I don't ever leak those personal goals because the narrative can change and
Hmm.
people think that you're focused on the wrong thing. And really it's just a way of holding myself accountable to my teammates. And, by saying I want to have this many touchdowns or, do better than what I did yards wise last year. I'm not too focused on the number exactly, but it's just a way to say if, I'm obviously a big, big part of this offense of this team, period. So if I tell myself that I need to do this or do that, have this number or have that, I think that it's putting a little bit more pressure on myself to live up to, what everybody's expecting from me, on my team to get to the ultimate goal.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And having those goals, like you said, is a good thing. But like sometimes just keeping it yourself might be easier because, like you said, kind of putting it out there publicly might put out this pressure that it can be hard to live up to sometimes. Absolutely. And obviously, coming up in the next couple of months, now that COVID's dying down and we're kind of leaving this pandemic, hopefully, you guys are going back to sold out audiences, going back to sold out crowds, stadiums, which you got to be pumped for, right? That's got to be such a great feeling to go back to that.
Oh yeah, it's huge. I mean, I'm a type of guy that feeds off the crowd, and I get a first down or a touchdown or something. I'm always looking up to the fans just because they do a lot for us, a lot more than what they know. So definitely looking forward to getting them back in the stands. We had a little bit of that action at the end of the year, but it still wasn't a packed house how we used to. So seeing 75, 77, 80,000 people in the stands, that gives you a little bit of a different feeling that you can't really recreate. With empty stands out there. So we definitely are looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. And, like you just said, I mean, with that transition, just going from the sold out crowd from a year or two ago to what we just had this last year with COVID, how weird of a feeling was that for you as someone who feeds off the crowd, feeds off the fans? Was it something that took a while for you to get used to, or it was like a one game thing where it's like, okay, this is what my new environment is. This is what I kind of have to feed off of going forward, at least for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, definitely wasn't a one game thing. It took damn near half the season to get used to seeing nobody, and then when almost the worst part is when you're off the field because you can't something happens on the far side of the field. There's no fans. They see that on the other side, and then they're roaring in a good way or a negative way. So sometimes it's a little bit of an anticipation after a play happens. You don't even really know if someone stepped out of bounds or whatever. If the ball was picked off or whatever, if you can't have a kind of direct sight to it. So it took a while for us to get used to, but in between each play, it's not a big deal. But as you come out for warm-ups and you come out for the game and you see that there's nobody there, there's not any crowd noise other than the simulated crowd noise, it's definitely weird. So, we had a great season, but I'll take the fans any day.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like I said, it's coming up soon. So it's going to be awesome in the next couple of months. And kind of going back to what you said earlier about goals and stuff like that and not setting a number, publicly or whatever it might be, coming off of last season where you broke Sterling Sharp's franchise receptions record in a season. At any point before breaking it, did you know that you were on the verge of breaking it? Was that even a thought for you? And even after breaking it, was it like, oh man, that's an awesome feeling for you? Or was it already on to the next thing?
Well, I mean, I wasn't really thinking about it as I was approaching it.
Mm-hmm.
When I knew how many catches I had, games were left, I already, had a sense of kind of where that would end up. But like I said, that's not my focus. When it happened, I didn't realize that it happened until I was notified on the sideline. But going into the game, obviously, it's all over social media and stuff like that. So I know about it, but in the moment, you don't really think about that too much, and you just go out there and play. But it's a blessing to be in that position. A lot of people that help me and are actively help while I'm on the field for me to be able to have a record like that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Just another feather in the cap, too. And obviously, with the situation changing day by day, with the Aaron Rodgers stuff going on right now, that's just ever changing from what even a month ago when I thought we were going to be talking, just it's so drastically different. As we speak right now, June 21st, what do you think the thoughts are, the likelihood, rather, of Aaron Rodgers leaving Green Bay is? Do you think it's a much bigger possibility than it would have been just even a month ago? Do you think that's going to change, or do you think there's a decent chance he might stay?
I mean, I'm not a gambling man, so it's tough for me to say what the chances are on that.
Mm-hmm.
But we all just praying that he comes back. That's our guy, and he's always his locker's always gonna be there. And I don't see him leaving, and I pray that he doesn't. So we're all just gonna stay in good spirits and just kind of let the chips fall where they may.
Absolutely. And how has your relationship with Aaron kind of, developed over the last 7 years since you've been with the team? Because you guys are obviously very close. You've talked about it in various other interviews, how much of an influence he's been with you on the team. How have you seen that relationship grow from 2014 now to 2021?
It's been a very gradual growth. That's
Mhm.
kind of how a true connection goes between a quarterback and a wideout. We kind of let this thing happen organically, and I say we took some big steps throughout the way, but to get from where I was when I first got here to where I am with him now, it's a huge difference, and there's a lot of focus, a lot of off the field experiences and stuff that brought us even closer together. So
Mhm.
we're closer now than we ever have been, and I think that it reflects on the field.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. Is he like, obviously he's your go-to guy on the team. Is there anyone else in the team right now that kind of maybe not reaches those same heights for you in terms of like your relationship and whatnot, but like you have as close of a bond with on the team, anything like that? Or is Aaron only the go-to guy for you?
Yeah, I mean, I love all my teammates, man. I
Hmm.
got a lot of great teammates like I said that I lean on, that lean on me. So there's plenty of them. Mercedes Lewis, all the wideouts. I'm really close with all my wideouts. So, but outside the wideout room, probably Mercedes Lewis is probably who I'm closest to.
Nice, nice. And with Aaron specifically, last question on this before we kind of wrap up here with another question or two. You've talked about it again before in other interviews and whatnot. With Aaron, if with the chance that he stays, and there's still a chance anything can change in the next couple weeks, months, whatever it might be before the beginning of the season in a few months. If he stays with the Packers, you see yourself with the Packers for the foreseeable future, probably. What do you see I mean, it's hard to look into the crystal ball and predict the future, obviously, but if he stays, you're probably sticking with the
Yeah,
foreseeable future too, right?
I mean that's the plan, man. I'm not planning on going anywhere. It's
Yeah.
that's only one piece of it though. Obviously,
Yeah.
the quarterback situation helps it, but um, you know, the stars got to align across the board as far as contractually. So
Hmm.
we'll figure all of that stuff out and let it happen. I'll be at training camp, like I said, regardless, ready to play the season, and then we'll see how all that kind of pans out.
Fantastic. Last two questions for you, Davante. With coming off such a strong season with the Packers, what do you see those keys to victory being? I mean, how can you supersede that bar? Because you guys did so great this last year. Obviously, you're going to do great going into this season. What do you see those main keys to victory being for you guys?
I mean, just expanding off what we've done the past two seasons, we put ourselves in a really good position to go out there and have a shot at the ultimate goal. So I think we're just missing a couple pieces that we added this year, just to the team in general. So I think everybody's mindset is there, and we kind of have that knack for winning. So at this point, it's just winning the ones that you can't lose, and um, finishing it off. One more game last year, we would have been in the show, and then I think once we get there, we can take care of it. So um, yeah, that's kind of the mindset.
Fantastic, man. And last question for you. With the Building Better Lives program, with Optimum Nutrition, as you talked about earlier, how can fans and viewers continue to support the program and support the initiative? How can people get involved?
Yeah, man. I hope everyone supports me in the Building Better Lives. You can visit buildingbetterlives.com, and everything you need to know, everything that all your questions will be answered there. If I haven't answered all of them on the phone here today, so yeah, again, that's buildingbetterlives.com, and go out there and check that out, and kind of be able to experience what the great things that we're doing this off season to put other people in great positions as well.
Well, that's awesome, man. Well, it's a great cause. People got to check it out. Like you just said, we kind of talked about most of it, but we'll be sure to put in the links and all that other stuff. This has been a real pleasure, Devontae. Thanks a lot for the time. My friends, Dan, Dylan, RJ, my uncle Doug are all big fans of yours in the Packers. So they wanted to give a shout out to you as well. But thanks a lot for the time, man. Great job with all the success, and best luck in the future as well.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you.